From that foundation, we now turn to a leader who has helped scale that vision into impact. He brings deep leadership experience across technology, logistics, healthcare, and AI with a sharp focus on building scalable organizations and leading teams through moments of change. His career spans high growth startups and global enterprises where he has driven strategy, partnerships, and execution in complex environments. Earlier in his journey, he played a key role in Microsoft's entry into mobile media and later held senior leadership roles at Samsung Mobile and Comcast, helping scale innovation while managing large, operationally intensive businesses. As an executive, advisor, and investor, he has helped startups grow from early stages to global scale. Most notably, as EVP at SWAT Health, he was part of the leadership team that grew the company from approximately $110 million to $1.8 billion in valuation. Today, as senior partner at NCS, he advises Fortune 100 companies on warehouse management, supply chain strategy, and leadership transformation while continuing to shape the future of NCS itself. Please join me in welcoming Neil Sharma to the stage.
Testing. Can you all hear me? Okay, I know that I stand in between you and dinner. So when Jerry and I began to speak about this event, there were a lot of different themes that we talked about, but most of all, what I really wanted to convey as I talk to you all, I'm very, very thankful. You all are an amazing team, a team that I wish I spent more time with physically here, so I do want to come back and spend more time with you. But really, thank you for 2025. Give yourself a big round of applause. I think the leadership said it. Jerry and Vinod articulated it really, really well. But I must convey to you, you have built a foundation. So all of the growth elements that you have thought about and heard about, they're part of a foundation. Today we're going to talk about something even more than that. And I will be joined by Nathan, right, at the end of this segment, as well as Marco. So rest assured, there's a lot that we have to share with you. One of the things that I want to talk to you all about is, what does 2026 bring? Now, you heard this statement already, but really, the last year of growth was actually foundation. This is the real year of growth. You're going to start to see so much more happen with the foundation that you have built. So, how do I convey this to you? How do I share this with you? I'm going to share it in an analogy. A very simple yet powerful analogy. And Jerry and I went back and forth thinking about this. And this is the analogy I want to share with you. So in the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, really since the early 1900s, in the Olympics, there was one country that never won a single Summer Olympic gold medal in an 8-man rowing contest. So these are called crew contests, and the one country that never ever won it is the British rowing team. In fact, they were laughingstocks. Every time they went to compete against other countries, they came dead last or second to last. Their training was the same. They had the same world-class nutrition. They had the same food, they had the same dining, the same athletes, the same fitness, everything, but they will always come last. During the 1990s, one of the athletes, Ben Hunt Davis, finally stood up and said, "I've had enough of this. We train day in, day out. We spend hours a day in the water, and we don't seem to get any better." You see, the game of rowing is in milliseconds. The winner is decided by fractions of seconds. And if you're really good, you win over and over again. So then he decided there's something that's got to change. And he sat his entire group down, the 8-man team plus the supporting staff, and he asked one question. Will it make the boat go faster? That was the question he put out to the entire group. Will it make the boat go faster? He challenged everybody in his small team and organization. I need you to ask that question. I need you to sincerely ask that question of the very smallest things to the largest things. I need you to ask it daily. I need you to ask it nightly, but I need you to ask the question. The first thing that happened was they suddenly realized that they were not having a lot of meetings. They also realized that they were not talking a lot. They started thinking about this. And what happened was quite interesting. A single question. Well, one of the athletes was a tension builder. He created tension. He riled up the different athletes, and he would cause a little bit of problem every now and then. He would provoke them. He was a tension builder. One of these occasions, as he was building tension, one of the other athletes asked, "What you're doing, will it make the boat go faster?" This fellow was stunned. He had been asked the question. He went home, he started thinking about it, and he realized, no, it's not helping. From that day, he became silent. He started listening, he started observing, and he realized his habits were actually detrimental. As he started to transform his one habit, he went from ego to alignment. He went from his own selfish ego to aligning with the principles of the team. Another athlete, remember there are 8 of them, so I'm giving you a sample. The other athlete was exceptionally gifted, but highly lazy. You've met these people in your life, right? You met them when you were a student, you met them in the corporate world, you met them maybe in your families. They're very talented at certain things that they do. It comes easy to them, but they hardly put in any effort. So one day, this one gifted athlete who used to just put in enough time, enough work, and just be better than everybody else on the team, he asked himself the question, will it make the boat go faster? So the next time he went to have ice cream, he asked himself, will it make the boat go faster? The next time he went to have some candy, he asked himself, will it make the boat go faster? And he realized no. So his nutritional habits started changing. Then at night, he used to stay up late. He said, will it make the boat go faster? No, I need more sleep. He started having more sleep. He started arriving at training earlier. He started working very, very hard. He was already a super athlete. He became superior. And everybody started to try to keep up with him. So he went from talent to discipline. He added discipline in his life, and suddenly he was willing to make the boat go faster. Then came the weakling, the person who says yes to everybody, has no opinion of their own, but say, oh yeah, you're right, and oh yeah, you're right. And why they do that is because they don't want to cause an altercation, a friction. But in fact, they're not helping anybody. They weren't willing to put themselves out there and really challenge and test. And finally, one day somebody challenged them. What you're doing, will it make the boat go faster? And he realized no. And as he started to form his opinion, he went from just having no opinion to suddenly having true outcomes and credibility in what he was saying to the others. And finally, the whole group liked to go clubbing. They loved to party. So they would work hard all week long, but when it came Friday night, they were hitting the clubs one after the other. One fine evening, they were going to this club, and one of the guys asked, what did he ask? Will it make the boat go faster? And as they were about to walk into this club, their favorite club, they realized, this is not going to make the boat go faster. I'd rather go home, get an extra night's sleep, extra hours sleep, get up refreshed, use this weekend, recharge. They began to transform themselves on one simple question. That's it. And guess what? They suddenly started winning local races. A transformation happened. They suddenly started winning national races in the UK, and then European races. And ladies and gentlemen, this same team in the year 2000 in the Sydney Summer Olympics basically won. All because of one question. That's it. They won. And then they did it again and again and again. This team became known for something that was unachievable. For a country that lost again and again and again, suddenly they had turned it around. So, Jerry and I were talking about this. And the one question that we came up with that I want to challenge you all this year, because last year was really a building year for the whole company. We were building a number of things. Shri articulated really well how we have been thinking through the company and where things have been slowly but surely building up and expanding. Well, it is truly the question that we want to ask you. Will it make NCS India grow? The next time you are in a meeting, or you are sitting there and thinking about a project, or trying to problem solve, or seeing how you can be even more creative with your culture, ask yourself that question. Will it make NCS India grow? I personally guarantee that we'll see even more transformation. I am stunned and thrilled by the way that you all conduct yourselves. You have the 3 F's, is what I call it. You face challenges. You really, really face challenges, and I see that. Some of this work can be very monotonous. I get it. I understand it. And yet others, they're the life and breath of a company, a multi-billion-dollar company, and you're solving problems that unplugs and helps them. So you face challenges, right? The second one, because you face challenges, you all as a team collectively are becoming fearless. You're becoming fearless, and that is an amazing quality to have. Others don't have that all the time. But the last F that to me is amazing is you have fun doing it. And that is a key that most companies don't have, but you do. So I applaud you. I truly, truly applaud all of the things that you are doing. Now, at this point in time, I'm going to bring Nathan up, because Nathan works with me in business development. And what we're going to do in real time is discuss a couple of things. Now, we've not pre-rehearsed this. He's aware I'm going to ask him questions. Nathan is one of our first business development consultants at NCS. As you may or may not know, he was an intern, right? So he came back, and we're so glad to have him on board. But Nathan, in this role that we've been creating this year, and in the team, we've been looking at creating this foundation. We've been looking at a number of things. In sales and marketing, what have you been focused on?
Hey everyone. Ooh, that's loud. First of all, thank you for having me. It's been wonderful to meet this new corner of the NCS family, and y'all have welcomed me with open arms. Now, in terms of what I have been working on, the first thing I want to talk about is Website 2.0, the giant task of translating the quality of our people and also our services into text, into pictures, and telling a story there. But I cannot take that much, if any, credit for it. That goes to others on the U.S. Business Development team, but also Helen and Madan and their team. I understand it was not possible without you all, so thank you. Perfect. In addition to that, as we evolve as a company, we are sitting on years' worth of material. From white papers to one-pagers to decks, we have years' worth of things that we need to figure out how to translate as we evolve so that any person at any given point can tell the same NCS story no matter who, no matter where, no matter when. And the third thing is our relationship with Manhattan. A renewed and aggressive interest in both cultivating our relationships, our existing relationships with those we've always known at Manhattan, and also cultivating new ones as we evolve within their ecosystem.
Nathan, on that point, I understand that there's a lot of work being done on our solutions area. So can you touch a little bit on what you've been working on with the solutions?
Absolutely. And the biggest thing I want to talk about there is Zoho CRM. That platform, our customer relations management platform, represents a giant shift in the way we conduct our business, because with 15 years of contacts and coffees and conversations, we have so much data that has just been floating around out there. So now, as we adopt Zoho and we all figure out how to use it together, how to grow that muscle, we can now develop cadence and targeted marketing with all the data, tracking from when we last spoke with them to new people to everything in between. And that represents a giant shift for us.
And these are all our new possible customers, prospects, not the current ones. The current ones, we have a personal touch already. You all handle that. But what we're talking about is a database now that is collecting of a lot of companies that we want to go after. Now, there's one other thing that he and I are now actively working on, and that is to take the solution set that you all are building, which is Sahai, and now bring it to the forefront of the market. You see, when I first came in last year, my mandate was to build. Okay, so what am I going to build? I wanted to build new partnerships. We already have sold Newton to an outside company that is not even related to Manhattan. And they're going to be basically using it in another system to use Newton. Now that same company has come back to me earlier this week and basically said, I want to pitch your AI solution. When can I see it? Because I have this huge meeting in February. So, Nathan, what are we doing with the information related to Sahai?
The biggest thing there is figuring out how to marry two very distinct and evolving brands together so they work cohesively.
Consistency is what I want. Consistency is what you want. If you say one thing to a customer and tomorrow I meet that same customer or Raju meets that same customer or someone else and we say something different about that solution, we do not look credible. So one of the areas we are now working on, especially with the solutions, is the documentation, the one-pagers, the PowerPoints. So we're working collectively with the India team regarding this. Nathan, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and helping me on that piece. Please give him a round of applause. So just as exciting there, here's the next point of excitement. You heard Shri talk about it. My one other area of build, as we collectively as partners made a huge decision, is we are going into Latin America. We are truly investing in that area, and I couldn't be prouder of sharing this time with Marco Beczkowski. Now, Marco actually was supposed to be here with us this week. He had gotten his India visa. Jerry and Vinod had gotten all of the accommodations and everything ready. And then we realized that Manhattan is unveiling some new information at Partner Day in Atlanta, and that Marco's presence physically in Atlanta was even more important for us collectively. So the poor fellow had to change his flights last minute, get to Atlanta, and then he just got back to his family. So he's a little bit tired, but I'm super happy that Marco is going to be joining us on the screen. So if you could put him up on the screen on Teams, if you can, that would be wonderful. And as they're setting up and getting Marco up ready on the screen, Marco is the country manager for Brazil. Brazil is a very, very large aspect of what we're going to be doing. And so for us,
Join senior leadership in congratulating everyone for 15 years of the office. That's no small feat. I mean, many businesses fail way before, 5, 10, 15 years. So 15 years is quite an accomplishment. So congratulations to you all. As Neil mentioned, I would love to be there in person, but unfortunately, actually, I had to make it to Atlanta, where I joined some of the other partners and on some very amazing news from Manhattan and everything that they are building in the partner ecosystem. So I'd just like to take a few minutes to talk a bit about my background and some of the plans that we're building here in Brazil and the rest of Latam. Will complete this year 25 years in supply chain technology. I started 25 years ago in a 3PL, implementing WMS. That was my very first job in a company that only had 60 people, and we grew to 1,000 people, 100 customers as a 3PL, many different states here in Brazil. So, I spent a very good time, at midnight, 3 in the morning, picking up cases, getting everything shipped. I've been on the floor for many years. But then after about 8 years, eventually I also implemented the very first customer for Blue Yonder in Brazil. I was their very first customer. After that, I went into multiple different logtech ventures. And one of these, I would say, adventures was to bring Manhattan to Brazil. So 10 years ago, I brought Manhattan to Brazil. We started closing the very first customers. All of the customers in Brazil, I played some part, leading especially sales. But most important to me, and I think that resonates very well with everything that you do and everything that NCS does, which is customer success, which is account management, making sure that customers are using the products as best as possible, implementing as fast as possible, right? And also, just making them happy as they grow, helping our customers grow. This was actually the part that I liked the most. And now, joining NCS, this is something that I definitely look forward to, being very close to our customers and helping them in any way we can. But there is something a bit more special as we grow, as we open the Latam market, especially through Brazil, which is, India and Brazil are or even more so, close countries. Culturally, we are very much aligned. Politically, we are much more aligned than many other countries in the world. But as we grow the practice in Brazil, I'm really looking forward to receiving some of the India talent in Brazil to help us grow. So definitely looking forward to getting some of you guys down here, making sure that you guys teach us how to best conduct business like NCS has been so successful in doing in all these years. So again, looking forward to getting to know everyone in person. I'm looking forward to being in India in a few months, maybe, or even seeing some of you down here soon. Very excited in helping NCS in the next 15 years and beyond. So thank you all so much for having me, and great to be here.
Marco, thank you so much. Appreciate that you were able to join at this hour. And I want to close this part by sharing again. The founders had a vision, they took a risk. You took their risk and you shot it through the moon. Now we're going beyond the moon. So the foundation that we have created, we're about to go much, much further. I really, really thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Let's go, 2026.